Hi everyone, Fritz here. Are you looking to increase the efficiency of your air intake system on your BMW? Well, in today's video, we're going to do just that by installing an air scoop on the M235i. Let's get into the video. Now, in case you missed yesterday's video, which I'll leave the link for you right over here, we went over why the stock air intake is more effective than most of the aftermarket cold air intakes that are on the market. However, even the stock air intake can be improved, and it can be all done for $50 with this air scoop from AFE. This is gonna bring in more air into that lower duct behind the driver's side grille when we're going at faster speeds, especially on the freeway. This little thing right here is gonna go off to the side and behind the driver's side grille, and should only take about 5 to 10 minutes. But as you can see here, there's this huge AFE logo right here, and the merch is finally in. So I'm sorry, AFE. I do thank you for making this air scoop, but we are going to be covering up that logo and be putting on the Vroom Tuber logo on there now. And Vroom Tuber is a new concept that I'm working on where new and experienced BMW enthusiasts get together and help each other on their current and future builds. And if you want to become part of the community, the link for the merch is down in the description. And now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get back into the install. First thing that we need to do is lift up on that hood latch. Once we lift the hood, just have to remove the weather stripping here. Place it off to the side, and using a T27 torque head, remove the bolts that hold in the front bumper. Now we can slide forward the front bumper here and push down on the tabs that hold the grille in place while pulling it forward. And here you can see that we have 3 locking tabs on the top, 1 on each side and 2 on the bottom. So all that we have to do is press down on the tabs as we pull the grills forward when we're doing this to release them. And as a quick side note, you can see that our vinyl wrapped grill right here is holding up really nicely. And if you're interested on how to do this, just click the link that's going to be right over here. Remove the plastic grill from the rubber trim, and all that we do for that is simply releasing the 2 front tabs here to disengage it. And it is directional in that this lower tab that faces the engine bay is bigger than the rest. Now let's slide in our air scoop, and having the bumper removed from the top is actually going to help us out a little bit in its placement. And this rubber gasket here is going to go around the inside of the air scoop to hold it into place. And then just test it out, make sure that it's not going anywhere before sliding in the grill. By inserting the 2 rear tabs, that way the grill is held into place, and then your 2 front tabs should align just like this. And this is going to be a little bit tougher because you have the scoop preventing you from pulling on that rubber gasket to allow the pin to slide in, but just give it some time, and that's it. Now that everything's installed, go ahead and pop back in the grill and tighten down the 6 screws. Don't forget about your weather gasket, and close it up. And just like that, you finished installing the AFE air scoop on your BMW. In doing so, you've increased the efficiency of your air intake as well as the responsiveness from your throttle. This has to do with the fact that the air scoop actually pushes out the duct to directly behind the driver's side grille, in which it can receive more directional air as opposed to less deflected air because of the bumper blocking the air duct before. And all this sounds great in theory, but how does it compare in real life as well as to a traditional cold air intake? To answer both of those questions, I'll be doing a future review video on just the AFE drop-in filter as well as the AFE drop-in filter plus the air scoop. However, I am very optimistic about this test because we are bringing in colder air from the environment. We're not bringing in air from the engine bay compared to most of the cold air intakes that we see on the market. But the other big thing here is that we only spent $130, $50 for the air scoop, $80 for the filter, and that filter is reusable. So this is something that we don't have to replace later down the line and is preventative maintenance. So it's really a 2-for-1 here. And the money that we save by doing these 2 modifications to the air intake versus doing a cold air intake, we could put towards a tune. Now a tune is what you're gonna be able to unlock those higher horsepower gains of 10 to 15 to 20 that you see on the box of the cold air intakes. So a cold air intake on its own will not net you those power gains. It's usually the cold air intake plus a tune will give you that. To make sure that you don't miss out on that video, make sure to turn on notifications. Leave any questions that you have for me in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.